Only 2 defeats, in fact, over the course of the last 9 years. It just so happens that both those defeats have come against Edinburgh, and so much pressure on the shoulders of Ben Healy wearing that number 10 jersey for Edinburgh this evening. That cannon boot that we saw so many times in the early part of his career in the red of Munster gets us underway in court this evening. How quickly can Munster hit their straps? An explosive start anticipated. Paddy Patterson in that all-new half-back pairing alongside JJ Hanrahan this evening, which in itself will be very interesting. Bernard Jackman and Chris Patterson alongside me. Evening, gents. It's a perfect night for rugby and so much at stake for both sides.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really good Edinburgh team on paper. It'll be fascinating to see if they get a reaction to that defeat against Edinburgh, and obviously Munster looking to go 3 from 3. Notoriously slow starters over the last couple of years, but have a great chance to really make a statement under Clayton McMillan.
Interesting to see if Edinburgh's star power will come to the fore, and just as I say that, it's 2 Lions linking up. Ewan Ashman with a perfect delivery at line out Simon. Duhan van der Merwe parading a long way in from his wing to get involved there. Robust carry straight up the guts, looking to keep that Munster defence very honest. Velicott.
No effect this time. But don't look to
frustrating end for Edinburgh as Munster have gone quickly and pushed it through at the far side.
Barely time to settle into our seats here. The kick and chase down that left-hand side. Oh, it's been knocked backwards. Try. Andrew Smith out of absolutely nothing. 6s and 7s back in that Edinburgh defence from the kick through. All about the foot race into the 22. Difficult on the chase and the scramble in terms of the handling. Now, was it legal all the way back beyond that 10-metre line? In real time, it's the perfect start for Munster and a wonderful poacher's finish for Andrew Smith.
Oh, it's so lucky for Darcy Graham. He gets across brilliant here. Great kicking behind by Calvin Nash, both wingers combining, and then just a foot race. You see Darcy Graham comes all the way across, horrible bounce, and Andrew Smith, former Connacht player, gets in, former Leinster and Connacht player.
20.
Unbelievable start, because it was a lovely line break from Edinburgh, but just a loose pass from Velicott, wasn't it?
Yeah, just going up that short side, but really clinical, really wise, clever play from Munster. 2 of the back 3 working together, and the shot clock's adding a little bit more pressure to Hanrahan's conversion.
It's not a million miles away. Struck it really well, just drifted. As I said, barely a puff of breeze around tonight, but that's a fast start for the home team.
Yeah, there's Smith, isn't it? Taking it easy and then taking it quickly, and then the ball going through. It's really good actually. Kick, hit the top of the ball, make it run forward, and it's an awkward bounce for Darcy Graham, but just never give up on that ball when you're chasing it.
Yeah, Wes Goosen would be really disappointed. He just didn't.
Yeah. I think Wes Goosen was off his feet because he dived to try and catch the pass that went in the touch from Healy. So he was slightly out of position. Really clever, astute play from Smith.
Yeah, it's quick thinking, using the top 6 inches, and it's a big try for Andrew Smith, who scored a few very important tries, particularly in the Champions Cup last season. You think of that marquee victory away at La Rochelle. He was on target in that game and a couple against Bordeaux-Bègles as well.
Yeah, he had a massive impact coming in on loan from Connacht. Fell out of favour with Pete Wilkins. Really showed good character with his performance at the highest level for Munster, to be fair. Now he gets a chance tonight. A lot of good back 3 players in Munster, so you have to kind of take it when you get it.
Yeah, Clayton McMillan, true to his word pre-season, that new broom comes in. He wants to have a look at everyone, give everyone an opportunity with adequate game time. Now then, what have we got in terms of a riposte immediately from Edinburgh off the set piece that was so crucial in that game back here in February? From the base at pace, Magnus Bradbury, both he and Ben Muncaster were massive in that game. Middle part of last season when they came here and just tore apart the Munster set piece. Piers didn't play that evening. Velicott on that short pass to a really lovely line, and he'll get it back to maybe their space out wide for the little bridge pass over the top from Ben Healy. They keep it in hand, go instead to James Lang. He takes it up towards 5 metres. Quick recycle, promising and enterprising from Edinburgh here. A little bit slower this time. First cab off the rank is a significant one on Piers. Takes 2 to bring him down. Munster player on the wrong side. Penalty pending. What can they do under the advantage? Healy knows he can roll the dice. unorthodox little kick to Goosen. Doesn't have a huge amount of support on his left side. Velicott once more gets it into Richardson. Interesting to see how he goes on debut tonight. Can they move it swiftly? Darcy Ray in the line. Camped inside this Munster 22 through the phases, heading towards double figures. Back this way they come again. Bradbury this time has got support on his shoulder. Seán O'Brien in position over the ball, couldn't get hands on. Skinner takes it on.
Use it.
Patient and purposeful. Piers involved for the 4th time, all the while with penalty advantage still being played by Ben Whitehouse. Nothing coming as Richardson is put on his backside. Back we go for the pound.
Elements of good attack and good defence within that initial scrum was rock solid from Edinburgh. Magnus Bradbury actually almost caught Ruadhán Quinn out when he picked open, and then Edinburgh kept the ball moving. It wasn't predictable. There was extra short passes, a couple of brilliant lines from Ewan Ashman.
Just fell the wrong way, didn't move.
I must admit as well, after that initial line break, there wasn't a lot of ground made because the Munster defence was reset really quickly and held out pretty well.
The Munster rearguard that was exposed time and again against Cardiff last week, so they'll call for better.
Just time in on
Kleyn,
the attack
it?
here, lads, if you're defending.
A no-harms tackle on Piers Coombes. You can see how effective Coombes is in the carry. We all know that. Takes a bit of stopping.
10.
35 minutes, first day out against Zebra for Piers Coombes. Now then, from the line-out launch, Edinburgh on the offensive, camped on the 5-metre line here, and through they go. Ashman's got it tucked safely under that right arm, and he rumbles all the way to the try line. Always looked like there was only going to be one outcome there, and it's a try for Edinburgh from Ewan Ashman. Brilliantly finished.
Yeah, brilliant response by Edinburgh. They decided not to take the points that were on offer. Really good catch by Skinner, really well built, and you just see here, they just shift off to the left slightly, and once they find that edge, just there, take 2 steps across, and then it's really well built. Ewan Ashman, such a powerful ball carrier. This is probably one of his easier finishes, but he controls it really well. And last year they tore Munster apart in the maul here. That's, you know, Munster would have been aware of that. They would have liked to lay down a marker, the first defensive maul, and they just failed completely. So Dennis Leamy, the defensive coach, really disappointed with that.
It's almost the exact same spot of the field as well from that game back in February where Edinburgh's set piece and especially the maul too cold. So it's a great response after falling behind so early on from Edinburgh.
And the uprights unkind to the former Munsterman. Small margins, tiny fractions, but it's a try apiece inside the opening exchanges here. Yeah, 6 tries last season for Ewan Ashman. He's on the mark again.
Let's not forget the source of that territory for Edinburgh, just from a kick-off that wasn't dealt with by Munster. Gave them the scrum. We saw the brilliant carry from Bradbury, and then from there leads to the 5 points.
Work to do on the defensive here for Darcy Graham.
Eagle. Yeah, outside. Use it.
Fineen Wycherley with the tackle in there. Once again inside, alongside Jean Kleyn. No sign as yet of Tag Byrne. Perhaps holding him in reserve. Massive game, of course, next week against Leinster at Croke Park. Small matter of an Ireland Autumn Nation squad to be announced in the week as well. Here's Gavin Coombes back in harness at number 8. Brian Gleeson on the bench for Munster this evening. First look at Michael Milne. Hanrahan. Calvin Nash in off his wing. Holding with this time for Tom Farrell.
He's gone ahead of the ball carrier.
Well, initially thought it was going to be a forward pass, wasn't it? Just slipping forward, but it was because there was an obstruction ahead of the ball. Decent defence. I thought the kick from Velicott was just drifted a little bit too far. But Edinburgh's defence was solid there, and Munster were losing ground, although they did almost create that space on the edge.
Yeah, but you could see, Conor, you asked the question about so many changes. You could see in that attacking shape, people overrunning it, people in the wrong position, and that's what Munster didn't have that first game against Scarlets, where obviously they had a 2 or 3 weeks build up and into it, looked really cohesive, and now it's a case of how quickly they can find that understanding and the correct shapes, because when they have them, they'll ask questions of Edinburgh defence.
Edinburgh side that carried only 87 times against Edinburgh, happy to kick and play territory and feed off that and try and capitalise from these kind of positions. This time off set-piece launch. What can they manufacture? Ewan Ashman always in the thick of things, and the go-to man, Schoeman, bundled back infield, manhandled by 2 or 3 Munster players. On the opposite side of the front row, Darcy Graham, that's Darcy Ray, rather, that's really nice, inventive. Now, can they create the space on the outside for Ewan Ashman? Lurking with real intent in those wide channels. The build-up play was lovely initially. Munster scramble across, fill the field and close the door. Richardson involved as they go again to Darcy Ray. Velicott, antenna tweaking. Where's the space? Or more appropriately, where's Pierre Schoeman as the first up ball carrier? Time and time again. Working really hard to try and snap back into attacking shape, offer options and angles. Velicott again, Schoeman at the ready. They go beyond him this time to Lang. Switches it infield to Piers O'Connor, the former Connacht man. Richardson wants it. Met on the gain line. Solid, robust defence. Munster over the ball now. No turnover for Diarmuid. Barron, who's told hands away. Short pass to Duhan van der Merwe this time. Now Munster over the ball and Fineen Wycherley, and this time they get their reward.
Yeah, good scramble defence from Munster. Edinburgh looking really sharp off set-piece play. The first 2 phases were really quick. Got a little bit of joy coming back down the short side on 2 or 3 occasions as well, but as soon as Munster were able to slow the first ball down, the defence was set and applied pressure. This is Ashwin getting away Paddy Patterson right around the ankles with a chop tackle, but after that, Munster were set and they get over the top of the ball.
Yeah, the problem for Edinburgh was they were lucky to get away with the previous ruck, so it was really slow ball. And then when they played a short ball to Duhan van der Merwe around the ruck, they weren't able to resort, so there wasn't enough bodies close enough to him. So well spotted by Coombes, Wycherley, and he gets in over it. It's been a bright start by Edinburgh, to be fair. Like, Munster's try has been very much against the run of play.
Look at the mark.
Yep,
look at the mark.
Absolutely. Come to play.
Step up. Come on, man. Yeah, 2 meters. Good. Stay.
9-10 week season, and you only play 1 match in round 2, your game is cancelled. Everyone's hungry to put their hand up. Now then, Hanrahan just got it away, and then the short pass. Just lack of fluidity and continuity into the hands of the returning Mike Haley, back in that full-back berth this evening.
Similar to what you mentioned before, Barron, in terms of the cohesion not quite being there for Munster, but there was extra pressure. James Lamb shoots out the line, and interestingly as well, Darcy Graham comes up, Piers O'Connor comes up on the outside, so almost reacting to the line speed that Lang brought, and it was enough to force the error from Haley.
Just tell me though, if you think it's too close, we'll have it, especially early.
Yeah, that rush defence and that line speed is just really testing the Munster skill set. Like, the space is on the outside, but you got to be very skillful to be able to catch pass in that kind of traffic, and obviously Haley just couldn't control it. It's like he saw Darcy Graham from the outside, blind spot of his eye.
Crouch, bind, set.
Barron Velicott, one of 4 Edinburgh try scorers on the opening weekend against Edinburgh. Rock solid platform again, only 2 on that short side. The option to kick, prod it through, turn Munster around, field position premium.
Solid set piece again, isn't it? That's come. Edinburgh had the choice really, because it was so solid. You could go up the short side as they did up that right hand side. Probably wants that ball to stay in field, or they could have gone left. So good set piece start from Edinburgh.
I think the challenge for Munster is just the speed of Velicott at the base of that scrum, particularly because it's so solid. It's putting a lot of pressure on the Munster back row to try and cover it.
Good, thank you. Stay.
Wycherley, oh, it's messy. Ewan Ashman, so against the throw. And the pressure continues for Munster here. It's been a little bit of a siege they're trying to weather here. Edinburgh keen to capitalise. It's a brilliant 2-man tackle. Edinburgh with real intent, real physicality. That short pass from Skinner doesn't quite come off, but if they're patient like they were on the previous attack, it might yet prove dividends. Oh, the line beckons very, very close. Ben Whitehouse says not quite yet. Munster do release it slow, and then Velicott thinks he can sniff the try line. Has he got that on the whitewash?
I've got to ground him when I come round. I just want to check.
Oh, that might be a try, you know. Ben Whitehouse is convinced he's got a grounding.
Yeah.
On-field decision.
On-field decision, try.
His try.
When I've whipped round, sorry.
We were talking about how quick Ben Velicott was. He's both in act and deed, not just his pass.
On-field decision, try. Just double check that last pickup and go.
Just going through the look.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Got him. Checking grounding.
Well, if he's got the ball on the ground.
Yeah, cool, sorry.
I just feel like he's like they are screaming at you, hands off the ball. Okay. They're reaching through, they pin the ball to my chest. Happened a few times.
I'll keep trying to look for that. Please.
As if he's not got enough to think about it. Firing another couple of things. And it came from the overthrow line out, didn't it? The pressure on the front of the line. And then have a look at Ben Velicott coming this way. He keeps control. I think he reaches the line.
Evidence supports your on-field decision. Stick with the try.
Stick with the try.
Yeah, you could hear Diarmuid Barron, the Munster captain, questioning that he came through the ruck, but I don't think he did there. I think that's a legitimate try.
How do you stop that? Is it prevention's better than cure? If you get in that position and you have to be behind the line as a defender, it's almost impossible because Velicott's so quick, he's so close to the line. So how do you stop it? Well, you win your own line out 5 or 6 metres from your own try line, and you don't let the opposition get so close. But again, fair play to Edinburgh after
36.
that. Difficult start from the breakaway try. They've been in full control. Yeah,
but it shows the value of actually, you're 100% right. They would have wanted that ball that they kicked through from the scrum to stay in field.
Yeah.
But if you can get after the defensive line out, it's a very smart tactical play. It gives your forwards a break. So good defensive work at the line out. Put pressure on Barron.
A good deal more straightforward than his previous effort, which was only a couple of inches away. So he redirects the radar. No problem whatsoever for Ben Healy. And there is that concession of line-out ball.
Ashman's had a few carries as well. First to react there. And it's really quick from Velicott, isn't it? Just get underneath those defenders. Good start.
A really strong physical start. They're making meters through the contact with those gain line carries. A lot of big physical players showing up so far for Edinburgh now. That first opportunity to spring something in that back line, that all-new back line. Root and bench reform. Calvin Nash hunting in off his wing and duly smashed in the tackle. Patterson. Hanrahan. Haley, this time it sticks, and they get it away to Ruadhán Quinn. Try against Cardiff at Thomond Park in Limerick last week, and he retains his place in that reshuffled back row. No Tom Ahern tonight. Jack O'Donoghue in situ. Hanrahan once again to Milne. He will carry all night long like his opposite number, Piers. Hanrahan. Calvin Nash. There's that physicality in defence. Richardson's done brilliantly there to strike his man and unceremoniously throw him to the Virgin Media Park turf. That's a brilliant turnover, huge penalty.
Yeah, you get that. Just looking at the two teams, that's the first time we've seen that power and bang from Edinburgh defensively. But in terms of the carries that we've seen so far, Munster have looked a little bit lacklustre in terms of being able to run over somebody, win a gain line.
They look really flat.
Really flat.
Really flat in terms of, and it challenges defence because you get that late ball at the line. But if you don't have momentum and if you're not getting momentum on every phrase, it's much harder to pressurise the defence. So maybe they should take some depth and try and give themselves a decent carry where you can win the collision. But Edinburgh's defence is pretty good. There's a brilliant collision. McConnell was involved, as was Dylan Richardson, and not only the initial hit but the secondary effort to get the leg drive, get over, get the counter ruck and win the penalty.
Okay.
HIA here, I think.
Marshall Sykes, is it?
Yeah, he was shaking his head there. He doesn't. It must obviously come up from his gum shield.
Time is off. Time is off.
Big unit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he on?
Big important
sub on, lads?
Player. The physical content, the mauls, the maul defence. Scrum, obviously, ball carry. It'd be Glenn Young that comes on, who's a taller player, a big unit himself, but internationalist as well.
Okay, boys, let's go.
There is the switch. Remains to be seen if it'll be more than 10 minutes. Disappointed from Marshall Sykes, who's made known his efforts to get back into recognition at Test match level. A couple of Scottish caps under the belt, but he had to wait, what was it, 3.5 years between 1 and 2. Real contest at line-out time. Snaffled and won by Edinburgh.
Forwards in from the start, Jack, yeah? First start.
Ashman doing his best to dig it out in a wrestling match against Gavin Coombes there, and he comes out the better of it, trying to put Edinburgh back on the front foot, where they spent the lion's share of the opening 19 minutes here. There's those collisions again. Ollie Jager heavily involved, Fineen Wycherley too. Skinner now gets it on to Lang, tucks one out the back for Ben Healy. Munster numbered up well on this side. Back in field they go with Duhan van der Merwe. Vellicott again, looking to maintain that zip and tempo with the supply line. It's all very tight and claustrophobic in there, and now a little bit of space on the outside. Goosen delivers one out for Darcy Graham.
Brilliant tackle by Mike Haley.
Cut him low and got him to ground quickly. Alarm bells ringing again in the Munster defence. They're being put to the pin of their collar here by a varied attack from Edinburgh that has started really, really well. 10 phases now. Healy, is there something different? Oh, the little think about the kick over the top. There wasn't a huge amount of space for anyone on this left-hand side. Wise in the end from Lang. Healy again. Munster over the ball in the shape of Tom Farrell.
Please. Mikey.
Can't affect the turnover. Darcy Ray keeps it moving. Perpetual motion from Edinburgh. Been a brilliant opening quarter for them. Can they maintain it? Ball comes loose in the contact area. Munster almost turned it over. Just stabbed through by the boot of Vellicott. Some work for Andrew Smith and co to do just to affect the clearance here. Fatiguing long sets, both on the defensive from a Munster point of view in particular, making a lot of tackles. And they'll be relieved to get the penalty.
Sam Skinner this time, I think, for not wrapping the tackle. He went really low. But this is Edinburgh. They keep the ball alive, don't they, Glenn Young, with a wonderful little off-road away. And this is a brilliant tackle from Haley. It's brilliant defence from Haley. Whether it's a brilliant tackle or not, I'm not sure, but it's brilliant defence because it's such a hard man to tackle and put down and cover. Darcy Graham, that was Darcy, who I think Bernard did the right thing by trying to take some space over the top of the ball. Everything thereafter was a wee bit across the front of Munster's defence, but ended up with a penalty. But yeah, Edinburgh are certainly asking questions of this Munster defence.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with some of their shapes. A little tip on, then pull out the back. The ability to get the ball into width when Munster are narrow.
Blood there, lads.
Nice variety.
Blood. Yeah.
And you just feel Munster, even if they don't score themselves, they could do just getting into the Edinburgh half and just relieving a bit of pressure here.
No, I'm good.
I'd say Sean Everett wished he played in Cork every week. The way this game has started, and obviously last year, the year before.
Okay, water off.
So much potential in this Edinburgh team, I think.
Yeah. And they haven't had a lot of game minutes. I mean, two warm-up fixtures where you're playing a lot of your squad players and everybody given an opportunity in the pre-season fixtures, and then you go away to the Zebra and your round two's cancelled. So you've actually got players who are lacking game minutes, but they're certainly looking sharp.
There's a little bit of unwanted muscle memory around that Munster line-out in the opening 20 minutes or so here. They lost so many in that clash back in February, and it's been a work in progress, to be kind. A lot of people on the different pages. It's offered a really good avenue into the game for Edinburgh. Yeah, just a little forward took pass from James Lang. That's a concern from a Munster point of view. It's far from perfect.
Yeah, I think I feel sorry for Lang there. I think it's probably down to Ben Healy. He just changed direction. Got a little bit spooked by the line speed. And
setup as we've had on your ball, on their ball.
Edinburgh weren't ready to go on the right-hand side. Here's the line out. Again, just back lift from John Kleyn.
Yeah, it looks like Edinburgh are trying to target that short side on as many opportunities as possible. I don't think it was particularly on there. It was probably better to come the same way with the arm. But it must be something they're looking at just to maybe avoid that hard press in the midfield.
But I was really impressed by Edinburgh's work. So there was a turnover line out. Obviously, they were up flat to defend it, and how they worked back hard off the ball to be able to get to that right edge.
Piers O'Connor right that hard back. He actually fell on his backside.
Right,
he spun
around. The man. If he had stayed up, they would have had an overlap.
Yeah, Goosen took off away looking for his outside man, but he's not that fast. He'd fallen over.
Yeah, you
First time we've seen the two front rows collapse. Ball out the back, so play on. JJ Hanrahan looking to do that. Releases the pass, the skip pass over the top for Calvin Nash. Taking the long route round. He might have preferred to end up somewhere else than stood into the midriff of Dylan Richardson. Slow ball this time for Paddy Patterson, to the chagrin of the Cork faithful around us. Mike Healy slipping away from the clutches of Ewan Ashman, initially anyway. Hanrahan. It's a symptom of that Edinburgh defence, where they're trying to think on their feet and use the boot instead.
Yeah, well, it's a function of Edinburgh's dominance defensively. Like, JJ's only kicking there because he feels there's no other option to kick. And this is probably because we don't have the power at the moment. It's this type of opportunity need to be really accurate to unlock Edinburgh.
I think JJ Hanrahan does a good job there, because he's taking it to the line. And this is actually a right decision as well to push it through. You can see the pressure he's under. It's just unfortunate for him. It got blocked by Ben Vellicutt, who's shown that line speed again. But going back to the set piece play, he's actually right, because Edinburgh are backing off, so take it to them. And he's looking for the player outside. I think it was Andrew Smith eventually, who was a little bit hesitant. He's looking for Smith, or if it's Haley or even Nash, whoever's on those outside, just to cut a line, to run hard, because the defence are coming towards Hanrahan.
And Edinburgh looked really vulnerable there, didn't they? It was just, as you say, it was a reaction off Hanrahan was going to make the play.
Well, here's another switch. 24th minute of the game. John Ryan coming in. Ollie Jager been forced off.
Yeah, go on, mate. 18, yes.
Difficult evening thus far, not getting any easier right now for Munster. He'll be assessed, and it remains to be seen if he's fit to return. It's a lengthening injury list.
Just too low.
Darcy Ray at the far side is getting treatment from an Edinburgh protective tight head, so we can't get the scrum up and running, although we've made the tight head switch for Munster.
I wouldn't be overly confident that Ollie Jager will come back out. Just looking at his body language going down the tunnel, he looked.
Shane Daly and Tom Ahern both missing this week from that particular reason after last week. So many changes. You think of the absenteeism for Munster already this season. Craig Casey not involved, due back in a week or two. We're not quite sure. A massive game, of course, against Leinster on the horizon. They'd love him back for that. They certainly missed him last week.
Bind. Set.
Who's in the ascendancy here? It's a big shove from Munster. Ball is there for Coombes. Sloppy pass doesn't go to hand for Hanrahan, but it's picked up instead by Tom Farrell. Munster's Player of the Year and the URC's Playmaker of the Year. Coombes again. Patterson to Seán Kleyn. Carried a huge amount of ball last week at Thomond Park. Hanrahan again to the boot.
Take him back, take him back, take him back!
Backfield is well covered, timely fashion by Darcy Graham. Oh, massive hit on Smith this time, dislodges the ball that falls into a Munster hand. All the talk pre-game from a Munster point of view about physicality, but Edinburgh have brought every single ounce of it. Taken on by O'Donoghue. They're finding it really hard to gain ground. They're helped out by a penalty here.
Darcy Graham's caught on the wrong side, isn't he? I don't think that's Glenn Young. He was involved in the tackle as well. Darcy Graham with that line speed, he just got himself caught on the wrong side, but it's a desperation of the Edinburgh defence to make these physical contacts. There's been two or three, especially from Liam McConnell, the young number 6, I think, young Blightside flanker, who's really put his body on the line time and time again and stopped dead any momentum that Munster have looked to gather. So that's a frustrating penalty for Edinburgh to give away. This is a big one here. I think this was Glenn Young, wasn't it?
No, that's a great hit.
Yeah. I'll try again.
That's what you want, someone coming off the bench. Work hard in the kick chase line.
It's not what
hit
you want.
Hurt. No, not what you want.
It's not if you're a winger.
No, but if you're a defensive coach, you'd be loving that.
O'Donoghue wins the line out, shifted from Ruadhán Quinn into Diarmuid Barron. Sean O'Brien takes it on now then. Patterson. A little bit of a juggle, away goes Gavin Coombes. So difficult to stop in those situations. Good hands required from Fineen Wycherley. Second row did well just to keep that move going for Munster. Patterson now with an opportunity. Oh, it's been counter-rucked by Edinburgh illegally, though, in the eyes of Ben Whitehouse. John Ryan gets the ball away. Is there something for Munster here? No, but go back for the penalty.
They're coming through the middle and you're pulling the 9 in.
There's a better line to take from Munster, and it's actually a decent...
Okay, this man's pulling the 9 in.
You can't play the 9, we all know that. It was a decent line out strike, wasn't it? It was a good tackle from Dylan Richardson, a low chop.
Yeah, there was a big hole there for a second. Dylan Richardson had to work really hard just to fill that space, and he had to be accurate with his tackle tech.
White on the line, lads. White's on
Once
the
we
line.
got into that seam, they sent Patterson down the blind side. This is the penalty here. Great, really aggressive counter up, but unfortunately, from an Ender point of view, they end up hitting Patterson.
Time in, leaving the line.
Once they've gone to the corner now,
leaving the line out.
this is where the pack need to get into the game.
Yeah, you could argue that was maybe a counter ruck as well, isn't it? I'm surprised Munster didn't get that penalty. I know we're old-fashioned, of course, that's why we're here and not there, but I'll be proven wrong here when Munster score, but points could be crucial.
Edinburgh stayed on and try and man the resources, stem the tide that is coming.
Original bind there, Robbie? Is that original bind, yeah?
It's a slow tide right now. It's a ripple. It's not going to get any momentum. Use it, says the referee, and they'll have to with Seán O'Brien. Strong, upright, physical player.
You're pulling him in, don't.
Quick ball required and lots of resources out there. John Ryan. All hands to the pump defensively for Edinburgh here. Through goes Seán Kleyn. Still working that short side. Jack O'Donoghue, really robust, strong, physical carry. Edinburgh player comes through, penalty advantage here. There might be a little bit of a ticking off required. In the red zone.
Channel, you're offside, you're a couple of metres from the goal line, yellow card.
It's more than a ticking off, it's straight to the pocket. 10 minutes in the cooler for Glenn Young. He's the player who's been singled out.
He chose to run back very close to the line, offside, 2 metres from the goal line. It's a yellow card.
Exactly that, offside.
No, there were numbers behind him.
Jager Hanrahan asking for a penalty try. Pretty fortunate to get the yellow card.
It all happened pretty quickly, didn't it?
Boys.
On that far side. I think of it, Ben White was saying when he's way back into defensive line, he gets in the way here. Yeah, you've got to keep it out of that channel.
I think smart by Paddy Patterson as well. He plays for that a little bit. Now with a man less, can Munster maul him over?
There's a rather big lump of a human missing out, but it's his mate Sam Skinner who does really well to disrupt again. Did that go forward? It certainly went forward somewhere along the line. Richardson, who's made a big impact in the opening 28 minutes, again heavily involved right in the thick of things. Healy's relieving boot didn't quite get the angle that he would have liked. Instead, it's straight into the breadbasket for Mike Healy. No second invitation required. Again, huge physicality
on here.
The collision area. If Munster can move it through the hands, pass this time is better to the right hand side. Seán O'Brien to Calvin Nash. Patterson there. There's a Munster player who's stayed down on that far side. No surprise, it's Mike Healy after that seismic collision. He certainly had the wind taken out of his sails. Maybe it's, let's hope it's nothing more than that. They're being pressurised to kick not entirely on their terms. JJ Hanrahan hoists it into the night sky. Contestable back on the Munster side. Kleyn again. Edinburgh over the ball and they've been rewarded. While so many turnovers in the contact area against Cardiff last week, and Edinburgh have certainly looked at that.
I'm just thinking from a coaching point of view. If you're Clayton McMillan, you're looking at... So this is the replay of the...
Yeah, just seen it on screen.
Darcy is upright, isn't it?
Jack, come with me. Sorry, Robbie, come with me. Jack, just watch everything else, okay? So it's the contact on the 15, potentially an upright tackle with head contact, Keith, is that correct? Okay, show it to me, I'm ready.
Keith David is the television match official. Edinburgh already down to 14 with Glenn Young in the bin.
Yeah, Darcy too high,
Keith,
isn't it?
I think I can make a decision here, if everyone agrees. clearly the white player is in an upright position, head contact, and it meets the yellow card threshold for an off-field review. Do you agree? Do you agree, Jack? Yeah.
I agree.
Down to 13, and it meets the threshold for a review. Minimum of 10-minute sanction.
It'll be an off-field review for a yellow card, okay?
Upgraded.
Sorry?
We will see.
Can you give me the mark there, please? I think I'm pretty much on it.
I think it's quite a simple one for Ben Whitehouse.
Off-field review with all the
Off-field review.
Keith, just a mark.
It's a tight head prop, running really hard to find the chase line against the fullback, and he's way too high. He does try and wrap. The contact's probably won by Mike Haley, but the head collision, ultimately a yellow card. That will probably stay a yellow card.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if that doesn't stay a yellow card. I think it's probably just, there's no intent in it. It's just an awkward, poor technique. But he's worried about Haley maybe stepping him, so he doesn't want to dip too early. I think what I was about to say, but tactically, I think JJ's right to kick a little bit more now, because Munster are getting nutting in terms of their carries. They're losing energy. They're vulnerable at the breakdown. And even if they kick to receive a kick back, that opens up counter-attack opportunities. So, but now obviously with 13 against 15, you're tempted to keep the ball in hand a little bit more.
So Mike Haley, the latest to be withdrawn for the time being, at least for a head injury assessment. Dan Kelly is out there wearing number 23 for Munster.
Boys, what's happening?
Very attritional opening 30 minutes here.
Lads, that's got to sort that with the ball boy. We got to go. Okay, time on. Let's go.
Needless to say, a really important 10-minute period here up to half-time for Munster to try and capitalise.
Good sack, play on. First man.
Sack was legal. Jack O'Donoghue took the line out from Barron. Wants to take on the responsibility himself. Bradbury and Ashman. Defensive duties, Gavin Coombes. Confirmation of that HIA for Mike Haley.
You're holding it. Don't hold it. Leave it, 5! No.
Patterson had to scrap for it. Might have got a penalty and didn't. Now they're over the ball in the shape of Ashman. Until he's put to ground. And ultimately, in the end, it's a Munster penalty.
This man is clearly in the way. You've got to move out the way. 3 penalties. Please move.
Magnus Bradbury's just manhandling some of those Munster ball carriers, and it's the little mini choke tackles.
He was in the way when the ball was available.
I thought Munster were lucky there.
Yeah,
I thought they were very vulnerable at the breakdown.
It's a risk reward with that high choke tackle, isn't it? Because he almost got away with it. I think the first one where Bradbury held that, there was 2 or 3.
When there's 2 players lying in the way, we need to get them away.
So, but if you don't win the turnover from the ball, you're conceding ground, and obviously then if you fall on the wrong side, you're conceding a penalty as well. So a lot of pressure building at Edinburgh.
And it will continue as O'Donoghue takes the line out. Munster driving forward, pouring forward, getting closer to the line. Still plenty of work to do. Michael Milne will get all the way. Brilliantly done by the loose head prop. Took on the responsibility, spinning, turning and diving and finding his way to the line. And the 15 of Munster make that 2-man advantage pay.
He's shown a real keen eye for the try line since he came down from Leinster last year on loan. It's a really ugly line out. Jack O'Donoghue wins it around his navel, but from here he watched the work on the open side. John Ryan just wins that edge and just lose their ground here, but there's a really dynamic carry from Milne, just to spin and get over. It was important for Munster that they capitalised on the 2-man advantage there.
Yeah, you got 2-man advantage or 2-man disadvantage in terms of the defence, so it means your 10 and your 12 are making those first up carries against Michael Milne and the front 5 that are usually made by forwards, because you've had to compress and they win the contact.
The conversion has gone awry. Straightforward attempt at 2 points, passed up by JJ Hanrahan as we look at that try again by a player who's looking to capitalise on international recognition during the summer.
Yeah, I think if that try had been a try from the maul, it would have been definitely pulled back for double banking with Gavin Moons getting in behind, so it's probably lucky for Munster that it broke away.
The line-up ball before that, Edinburgh did a really good job of sacking immediately. They tried to follow it up there but didn't quite get the sack, and it just meant you're going backwards, you're under pressure. Good finish from Milne.
Second try in Munster colours. Got a try at Thomond Park against Ulster the back end of last season when he had that run of starts, 4 in a row between April and May. And Dan Kelly. Coombes. Munster looking to play their way out
Take him
of
back.
their own 22. 5 minutes and counting to half time. To the boot of Hanrahan. To Healy. He was up a little bit early and wasn't really set.
First, second.
Put into Munster.
First.
Yep. Difficult one for Ben Healy. It's a good kick from Jager and there's 4 Munster players waiting for him to come down. Maybe lucky for his body, he dropped it before he did.
Time off.
But just from here, it looks like there's an opportunity for Munster to break away down the field, but they just can't catch it cleanly. Seán O'Brien tries to throw the offload to Tom Farrell, and there was a bit of space in the backfield if he could have cut that.
Yeah, it was a good kick from Hanrahan, wasn't it? I'm just wondering whether it's the right thing to do. Should you keep the ball in hand, especially when you're down to 13? But that kick's forced the pressure. Difficult take for Ben Healy, and now you've got a set piece, 15 against 13 in Edinburgh. Looks like they're taking his. Liam McConnell is going off to allow Paul Hill to come on, or changing their mind actually. Who's coming off?
Yeah, I think they're going to take a winger off maybe.
Captain.
Not sent anybody off yet.
No.
So the yellow card will remain a yellow card. That there's mitigation involved, so it'll stay a yellow card.
Piers O'Connor's going to come off.
The first one. The foul play. Yeah, there's only one foul play. Yeah, sorry, Keith. That's why you confused me.
Here you go, lads.
Yeah, it's just confirmation that the yellow card, well, the first yellow card for Darcy, the upright collision will remain a yellow, and as Piers O'Connor has came off to allow Paul Hill to come on for it's the first scrum since that yellow card, isn't it?
I thought they were signalling for Darcy Graham. I was wondering, did he pull rank on the newcomer? But it is Piers O'Connor who's come off. Paul Hill into the front row.
Yeah, so a lot of talk in the Edinburgh backfield here, trying to organise this. Obviously, Darcy Graham is in now at 13. He's probably got to go really soft and use the touchline. And Duhan is going to have to cover that kick space in behind.
It's a decent fight from Edinburgh in that, because 8v7.
Yeah, and first, absolutely spot on game management by Munster to try and milk a penalty there. I know they have a man advantage in the backs as well, but just trying to put the squeeze on.
It's actually quite good refereeing to have a reset as well, because that's a proper contest there, isn't it?
Just pressuring up.
About 15,000 Munster fans shouting at him to penalise Edinburgh. You can actually sense the stress in the crowd because they know that Munster aren't playing very well and they're nearly begging for penalties.
How big a difference is it in the front row, Barron, when you've not got a number 8 scrumming? Does it make
it does make a difference for sure, yeah. Whatever, 120 kilos coming through. You need every kilo you can help, yeah. That's why I always used to carry a few extra kilos myself, in case we had a man down. Wasn't very handy for running around the field, but it was okay in the scrum.
Wait for the call for the bind.
This is all eating away at the clock at the time, because both the yellow cards were pretty close together, a couple of minutes apart, so this is all eating away at the clock and increasing the frustration in Munster. Ben White, I should just get this on and get the ball in and get it moving.
Crouch. Bind. Set. In 9.
Third time of asking then. Well, there you go. There was a certain inevitability about that. In your own time, Paddy Patterson, that's what they were looking for, as Bernard says, and they get it eventually.
Oh, Bernard. Surprised at that, maybe?
Yeah.
From the near side here.
Oh, jeez, I think if I was the Edinburgh scrum coach, I'd be pretty disappointed with that. But that's what you get.
Yeah.
When you're away from home, sometimes you don't get a rub of the green.
Yep. Full white back.
A big couple of minutes for Edinburgh here. If they could go in at half-time, 12-10 up, given the 2 yellow cards. But likewise, Munster have to be ruthless.
Numbers. 6.
So Marshall Sykes must have passed his HI and he's came on for Glenn Young, who replaced him, who got the yellow card. So that's the first yellow card.
Yep.
Over.
15 against 14. As Bernard says, really gilt-edged opportunity for Munster here. 3 minutes to go to half-time, and again, that set piece concern. The line out not firing, not functioning as they would have hoped. They haven't been ruthless, they haven't been clinical.
2.
On his hands and knees, Marshall Sykes.
Careful. Use it!
Velicott to the aerial route, and off they go in chase. Ball from the backfield. Nash takes control. Patterson to Milne. No passing option. It was shut down by James Lang up in the face of Dan Kelly. Munster have to keep it in tight. Here is Kelly this time. Flashes one across. To Tom Farrell. Back inside to Kelly again. Can they keep it moving? Good hands, and then the pass was beyond Patterson, but he was thumped to the turf unceremoniously. And it is a Munster penalty.
Just clear off if that pass is going to go to him or not. It's a takeout off the ball, whatever. But if that pass is going to go towards him, you need to upgrade it. He's tackling without the ball.
As Liam McConnell got back and Paddy Patterson.
Okay, cool.
Ben House wants to double check.
The ball was not going to hand, so it's a penalty only.
Yeah, penalty only. No further. It's a brilliant pass from Kelly that sets up that pass here flat. So difficult to defend. And then the offload from Farrell back inside. We're looking at number 6 here with the scrum cap. Oof, doesn't miss him. It's pretty blatant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Duhan just gets caught trying to shut it down. Very good play by Farrell to keep that ball alive. And
Magnus, come on. Magnus, please. There's some things you can argue. That's not one of them. Back you go. Thank you. Thanks, Keith. I agree. The ball's past him. He was never going to catch it, so it's a penalty only.
It's a decision for Munster here. They're definitely considering whether to take the points.
Yeah. Next
Only
play,
thing that is he's 0 for 2 from his kicks at goal, which shouldn't really come into it. But
yeah, come on, boys. Time is on now.
I think
thank you.
It's quite a bit
you're at home.
Thanks, Keith.
You're still down to
player down. You got to go to the corner.
Down, yeah.
To the corner they do go.
It's a pretty good effort as well.
We talked last week.
6 metres out or so. It's
every time I'm making a decision, you question it. I will have a chat, of course, but not ever. Thank you.
Darcy Ray back in situ. A timely return. Edinburgh under the pump. Final few seconds. 9 embers of a really intriguing half. Clock goes red. We're over the 40. Round that short side to Barron. Edinburgh not caught napping. Fully alive to that threat on that short side, as they have been to most of what Munster have thrown at them in this game. Aside from that early break and the Andrew Smith try, they've been excellent.
Yeah, ball's out. Good.
Ball is there. It requires Hanrahan, I think it is, to dive on it.
Back.
Instead, it was Diarmuid, Barron, Hanrahan in situ. The ball there for Edinburgh. Ball was playable and lost, and they do survive.
Time, yeah.
Well, that's a big intervention in the game as well, with Munster full throttle to the attack, and again they come up empty-handed from an incision into that Edinburgh 22, and it is the Scots who will go into the sheds at half-time at Virgin Media. He's lightning about to strike twice. It would be a massive fillip for Sean Everett and his Scottish capitalists if they could capitalise on a really bright opening 40 minutes against a Munster side buoyed by a couple of wins against Welsh opponents in round 1 and 2. It was an imperfect display on their home debut at Thomond Park last week. And it's carried on in much the same vein in Cork this evening, so far at any rate. Edinburgh down 2 players at one stage over the course of that opening 40 minutes, and Munster couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, and you can see Edinburgh happy to just get that ball off the field, because Munster's line-out hasn't really been convincing.
Boys, how many?
Pretty surprising, really. Alex Codling is now full-time. He's a quality line-out coach, but there's been 2 or 3 big errors that just putting a bit of doubt, and obviously they'll be hoping to sort it out at half-time.
Yeah, good.
It's a bit easier. Throw to the front.
Yeah. Trying to manufacture a way to find primary possession, something to build on.
Tackle, move. Thank you.
If they're going to do that, they're going to come up against robust defence from Edinburgh. Magnus Bradbury leading the way there in that regard. Now then, deep to Hanrahan, Sean O'Brien, and on again to Calvin Nash. Got to find that attacking rhythm, make those passes stick.
Taking back, yeah.
Goosen to Duhan van der Merwe. Always a good idea to try and stop him at source if you can at all, because if he gets up ahead of steam, you could be in big trouble. Got his pass away to Schumann, now Vellacott to Healy. Jack O'Donoghue in the passing channel, and once he decided to tuck that up, he was always at risk of being turned over. It's Tom Farrell again.
Yeah, there was a window of opportunity for Ben Healy to get that pass away. Big carry from Duhan van der Merwe. See how many tackles he breaks and how hard he gets to fight to get his hands free. His big mucker, Schumann on the inside, gets it offloaded away as well. Liam McConnell's been outstanding in this first half, and from this ball, you're maybe 10-15 metres over the gain line. Ben Healy just gets spooked by the blitz defence. Archer coming up. John Ryan, sorry, coming up just on his outside, but he did have an opportunity to get away, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, but Farrell, you know, he's a key man for Munster in attack, but he's really gritty around the breakdown as well. That's a big turnover for them.
Jack O'Donoghue once again is the target, and this time cleanly found. True man hit on that read of Gavin Coombes attacking the line. Munster figuring out ways and means to try and get around this Edinburgh defence. Calvin Nash. Farrell now bides his time, and then he was tackled by Richardson. Turnover ball, the two tens collide. Illegal from Hanrahan, swinging arm around the neck of Healy, penalty advantage. Line keeps it moving. Piers O'Connor involved. It's there for Vellacott. Quick check of where the space is, if there is any. Playing penalty advantage all the time.
We're going to go back.
Yeah, much better from Healy that time. Just more assertive, more confident, taking the space on the edge. Again, it comes from a turnover. Nash presents the ball. It's almost that uncertainty of who's hitting the line, who's carrying hard, and almost caught between two ideas. And then the two tens, good friends, former teammates. J. Hanrahan knows this, it's a seatbelt, but Ben Healy was much more assertive there.
Yeah, Chris, it's like Munster, they're not playing off each other, they're not running off each other, not reading each other, body language. Like Farrell is, again, similar to the example you mentioned the first half with JJ. He's just looking for someone to come off his shoulder there and be direct.
Yeah.
But if we wind the clock back to last season, Farrell would just have tucked that and go, and then they say, listen, try and stop me. There looks a hesitancy a little bit in their attack so far.
Hold.
So many new combinations.
Just a knock on.
Another little hint at
touch.
a degree of more confidence.
Yeah, it's just a knock on.
Yeah, it's a nice line from Edinburgh, just using a single lift to the front.
So is it into touch or is it
good pressure?
Just a scrum option. Here we go.
Yeah, it's just a knock on from me. I think it was Wycherley that came through because the line was one quite near the front. Wasn't it Wycherley kind of spied it?
Yeah, he spotted it.
Shot off the pass.
Yeah, he spooked.
So we'll just play the scrum.
Vellacott ended up going down a dead man's alley, but Edinburgh will be interested now with a scrum back to 8 on 8. Can they do a little bit of damage? Are they as muscular as an 8 in the scrum as they have looked at with the ball in hand?
Yeah. I'll explain next one. Crouch. Bind. Set.
And it goes then from Vellacott once again, scooming up now. It's wheeling decision to be made for Ben Whitehouse. Another victory for Edinburgh.
Yeah, it's been a good contest, hasn't he? Once penalised for running around on the left-hand side, Michael Milne.
Just driven straight over the top.
If we have another look at it, I think Darcy does a really good job on the tight head side, because it almost loses the initial hit or contact and has to fight himself back into a dominant position. It is really well. And Schumann drives through on the far side. It was something that Mike Prendergast picked up through the week, wasn't he? He described Edinburgh as being a really physical, set-piece, territory-dominated side. And they've shown that so far.
7 or 6? Oh, 7.
But to be honest, Chris, it's not something I see in Edinburgh week in, week out. Obviously, in games against Munster, it is an area where they're dominant.
Probably a lot from that game in February is maybe spooking them. And that's the type of thing that Edinburgh has seen and taken pride in.
Yeah, Edinburgh set that.
Munster needs something to change. They've brought in Brian Gleeson. Even at his tender age, he is a game changer, but he'll come into a defensive footing. Munster again on the back foot, camped midway inside their own 22. All hands to the pump under this Edinburgh attack. set piece the catalyst, as it was back in February. Puts Edinburgh in the right area of the field, gives them the opportunity for Bradbury and Sykes and others to capitalise. Wycherley gets away with one. Velicott to Healy and Lang now. Again, strong with ball in hand through the flailing arms of Munster defenders. Healy now spins one on to Richardson. Hits that short line. Attacking around those fringes. Piers O'Connor this time is swallowed up well by Dan Kelly. Jack O'Donoghue there as well. Velicott protects the ball well, gets it away to Darcy Ray on that 22. Being forced back marginally. McConnell was the runner. Velicott bides his time, eventually goes to his flanker.
No, leave.
Healy. A lot of red jerseys in there. Wycherley puts his old teammate to ground. It's that man McConnell again with another willing carry. Lang now distributing it out to Pierre Schoeman. A dozen phases. Lang, kicking option, crossfield. Oh, beautifully measured. Look at this. Darcy Graham. That is absolutely fantastic from Edinburgh. Winning collisions, winning tackles, recycling phase after phase, and then the awareness, the creativity, the execution from Lang to Darcy Graham.
It's a kick from the second receiver, James Lang, but Edinburgh have lost 10 or 12 metres, being driven back, but they've maintained possession. Then Schoeman gets him on front foot. Liam McConnell, who's been outstanding so far, gets him on the front foot, and then the window for that to be a success is about 3 inches wide, and James Lang finds it with a cross kick, and that man Darcy Graham does a wonderful job of taking it under pressure without breaking stride and still having the awareness to finish in the corner. It's a really good score from them. It just shows their multifaceted attack, really. If one's not going where they want it with the big carries, then they drift it a bit wider, put the kick attack in. That's a brilliant score.
And the two added from the kicking tee from Ben Healy. Well, we expected a big opening 10 minutes from Munster. We've got a big 10 minutes from Edinburgh.
Yeah, well, that was brilliant by Darcy Graham. He was waving, he held the space, and there actually didn't look like to be much opportunity. The kick had to be bang on. Obviously, Patterson doesn't really want to be out there, but it wasn't wide open. And you see Darcy Graham catching it without losing his stride. Brilliant by Lang.
I think Patterson almost got a finger to it, almost got a hand to it. It's just immaculate execution from Lang and brilliant finishing from Darcy Graham.
Inside,
variation.
inside.
Another hefty collision. He's left a Munster player on the floor. I think it's Diarmuid Barron. And slowly back to his feet.
Yes, use.
9-point deficit for Munster to try and navigate. Plenty to think about here.
You don't want to put too much pressure on a young player like Brian Gleeson, but realistically, this is a great opportunity for him to come on and have an impact in this game, particularly the attributes he has in terms of his athleticism, his power in the carry, because Munster need people like, they've no Nankiville who's going to get him over the gain line. We know Gavin Coombes is brilliant close in, but he hasn't been able to punch holes. So as a back row coming on here, if he stands up and starts getting Munster back into the game, it'll be a real testament to his big game temperament.
Yeah, much cleaner.
Well, his first involvement was a pretty good tackle at that line out on the first pick and goal.
Much cleaner now. Thank you. Yeah,
It's a big ball carrier. I think Edinburgh made a couple of changes. I think it was Ben Muncaster who carried from the kickoff that Diarmuid Barron made the tackle, but he's getting a bit of treatment on, and it just shows that the difference between winning the space and the post-contact meters. It just gets in the front foot and it makes a much easier kick for Velicott to get away. There's Ben Muncaster at the front of that picture there.
Okay, no, he's not. Just get in the middle, okay?
He's okay to continue for now. Diarmuid Barron, Lee Barron among the replacements for Munster this evening. That much changed matchday squad of 23, including, of course, Edwin Edogbo.
Yeah, Munster look like they step in, Jack.
They'd love to get 20 minutes into his legs. It may depend on how this game pans out over the next 10 or 15. Whether they've got any breathing space to reintroduce into a tight game like this. After 22 months on the sideline. Now then, Barron in situ. Confirmation of that front row switch. Bowen Venter in for Schoeman.
No, you weren't.
Likewise on the other side of the front row. Paul Hill in, and McConnell's evening is over, so Freddie Douglas in. Sean Everett going to the bench. Paddy Patterson. And there is that switch that brought Muncaster in. Richardson, the player to be withdrawn as Munster sling it wide to Smith. Doing his level best to get beyond Goosen. And that's a little bit more aggressive in the carry. That's what Munster need to try and puncture and punch some holes in that stoic Edinburgh rearguard. Patterson needs quick hands and feet. Look at that aggressive defensive line speed again from Edinburgh. Chasing, hounding, harassing in 2s and 3s. Duhan, Van de Merwe, all hands to the pump. That's got to be a turnover. That's huge. Freddie Douglas.
Yeah, look at, it's a great defensive step for Edinburgh, but it comes from some pretty impotent Munster attack. Very ladder. Only Gleeson really went forward, and you could see shoveling bad ball on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. TMO's just confirmed.
Knock on.
Knock on the tackle.
Okay.
Knock on only.
Yeah, looking really suspicious. Again, Edinburgh coming forward, putting so much pressure on. I think here.
Yeah.
Is it Piers O'Connor just bumped off his left hand? But then the reaction of the Edinburgh players compared to the Munster players was quite telling there. Freddie Douglas getting through, hunting down, winning turnover. You mentioned Gleeson, Freddie Douglas. I assume they probably played against each other at under 18 level last year or the year before. They'll know each other well. Similar players, big opportunity for both. And yeah, Barron, I think, hasn't quite recovered for that bump.
So Lee Barron comes in place of Diarmuid, his namesake, into that Munster front row. As I said, it's been a hugely attritional opening few matches of the season for Munster. Needless to say, massive game, as I mentioned, against Leinster at Croke Park next week in round 4, and the importance of that will ratchet up if they come away with nothing from this game. Any notion that it's a free hit against their arch rivals will dissipate quite quickly. Not sure it ever is against Leinster. It's a real wrestling match. That scrum is delicately poised and balanced. Now then,
brilliant.
Oh, lovely hands, and Nash away here. Options in and out. Couldn't get the pass away, and this time it's a Munster penalty, and it's a card. Third of the evening. Edinburgh player diving in off their feet at that ruck. Another big momentum shift in the game, potentially 9-point game, and Edinburgh.
Well, like we thought, Munster's best chance was from a set-piece play, and again, get the ball into your most creative player, Tom Farrell, and he gets his hands free. Great carry by. The problem is there a ruck? Fairness to Ben Whitehouse, he's been very quick to go to the card.
I think having a look, because it's a line break, it probably accentuates it. Freddie Douglas, I mean, you're allowed to swing in if you get your hips coming in from that 45 degrees, so you don't have to get all the way back, you just have to get in to come in on the angle. You can argue he probably does that.
Yeah, there's an injury. He's injured. Oh, he's up. No.
It was a good offload for Farrell, wasn't it? That winning the contact and then still having the ability just to get that soft pass away.
Yeah, it's just getting his nose through contact and having the ball in two hands. He's so good at that. He's like an old-fashioned 13. He just has a little bit of pace to get on the outside and as I said, being able to keep the ball alive in contact.
2 meters.
Now then, can Munster capitalise straight away? First piece of work for Lee Barron to do is to hit Jack O'Donoghue. Julie obliges. Good lift and leap. What can they do from 5 metres shy? Dan Kelly the target this time. Healy leading the charge defensively, made the tackle. They go to the old reliable Gavin Coombes coming around the corner. Well, was that intended for Jean Kleyn? It was taken by Paddy Patterson instead. Edinburgh on the ball here, always going to get the penalty.
The penalty comes from a jackal at the breakdown, but the key to that was the sack of the line-out maul. Edinburgh have used it twice, been really clean, and you could see from there, because Munster couldn't maul them over, they haven't looked like they've had that power in their carries to do any damage, and from there they're always going to be vulnerable. Paddy Patterson gets isolated, doesn't really get the ground cleanly, and there's the penalty.
Yeah. Paddy Patterson doesn't really want to take that. Somebody run a short line, I'm not sure who it was.
Jean Kleyn does, but he's
just there, but he can't get the pass away, and because Edinburgh's pressure defence is coming up from the outside, the last thing Paddy Patterson wants to do is carry there into Bowen Venter and Paul Hill, allowing Ben Muncaster to help out as well. So it's good, desperate defence to get back and cover, but you're right, that initial, it was a really good line out throw and take at the tail, but it was well sacked.
Some running repairs for Ben Healy. We talk about his lack of game time last season. Just for context, only 2 URC starts last campaign, 4 in total in all competitions, as against the previous season where he played 80 minutes no fewer than 20 times and started 23 out of 24 games in all competitions.
Okay, water off, boys.
Just from a Munster point of view at line-out time now, if you're worried about a sack, I think more breakout plays. You know, have Edinburgh focused on bringing players down, but you're breaking into that seam, and they have an armory of those in their locker. It's always been a big part of their game.
Stay alive.
It's having the wherewithal to change the picture. Now that Edwin Edogbo, you'll hear the ovation for this young man coming back into the fray after a long period on the sidelines following an Achilles injury. 22 months out injured. Brilliant to see him back. He replaces Jean Kleyn. Ewan Ashman, typically aggressive all evening, eyeing up Gavin Coombes there, relishing that physicality. And they've had the upper hand in that department.
Knocked on. Yeah.
Munster take huge pride in that here, and they've been second best. Yeah, knock on.
Okay, well.
Just on Ewan Ashman, Connor, the first time I saw him, he was playing for Scotland under-20s here against Ireland under-20s, and a very bad Scotland under-20s team, but he stood out a mile. I think he was playing for Sale Sharks at the time, and he hasn't gone backwards, he's gone forward.
He's such an abrasive ball carrier, isn't he? Quick and dynamic as well. He's got an knack of scoring tries, as most hookers do, but not just on the back at mauls. He's an explosive carrier, but his defensive effort as well. Like, he's a defensive hitter. You know, you get tacklers and you get people that hit. He certainly hits. He's been outstanding so far this evening, a line and some as well.
I think the big thing about him, he has the physical capabilities to bang, but I think mentally he wants to bang on both sides of the ball.
Gleeson gets Munster moving. Scrum again was very keenly contested. Looking manufacturing that wide channel with Seán O'Brien holding the width on that side now. Hanrahan gets them moving again. Farrell, and he's there to receive it again off the floor, showing that array of talent and skills that he has, and that's a really tricky one. Zero pitch for Darcy. Graham did really well to get it where he did, down the throat of Andrew Smith. Ashman again in the absolute thick of things. Farrell now, they're looking for him to be that creative outlet. Dan Kelly now, try line beckons. Endeavoured to cut back inside. Might he have just fancied his power to carry him over on the straight line. Edinburgh last-ditch defence. Again, they're claiming maybe a knock-on, and there is Munster come forward. Edogbo, what a return to action would be if he could pile drive his way over. Milne's got there once already, and he's in again. How badly do Munster need that try from Michael Milne?
Look, and it comes from the moment of magic from Thomas Farrell, but it actually comes from the play that they go all the way to the right-hand side, come all the way back left with a kick in behind. Brilliant by Darcy Graham, but it opens up a counter-attack opportunity. And from those first couple of phases, Edinburgh haven't got their line set defensively. They're not compact, and that's where Farrell is able to get his hands free. So really smart by Munster to break the game up a little bit, because the power game isn't working for them. Yeah,
it was footwork really. It was the power that created that last line breakthrough. Farrell, it was his footwork there that got him on the outside edge. It was an excellent. We're just talking about Ewan Ashman, but it was a cover tackle that almost got back. But that power from Milne on display for his second.
And once again, the flag stayed on. These are crucial points left on the posts. Big intervention again from Michael Milne. It was Lee Barron who was the rear wheel drive.
Yeah, that's a footwork there inside from Farrell, and then Kelly's well covered by Ashman and Velikut, but then that power there, Milne is impressive, isn't it? It's low. He's got the latch behind him as well from Barron. This is a dynamic, the loose head this evening.
He knows his way to the try line, scored 7 tries in that breakout season really they had for Leinster, 22-23. Still down to 14. Edinburgh in no particular hurry. Remains a 4-point advantage. 3 tries apiece.
Still alive.
Interesting final quarter beckons. Ethan Coughlan is the replacement scrum half for Munster this evening, coming in for Paddy Patterson. Ashman to the front this time. Everything in play now into this final quarter. Game management will be key. Collision off the ball. Edinburgh penalty. The referee was in a good position to spot it on that kick chase.
Clear step across from 16 to block the winger.
It's pretty obvious from Barron, isn't it? To block Darcy Graham coming through. He doesn't have to do it because I think the kick's just too long anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's a difficult kick for Velikut because of the position of the maul. It was into 5.
It's just taking the atmosphere. The atmosphere was building nicely in behind it. Felt as if there's momentum against Munster, but it's that decision there. It seems to have fallen flat.
Josh Wycherley, the latest off the Munster bench, and a nice ovation for Michael Milne. Certainly taking his fair share of the responsibility.
Yeah, deserves that ovation. It's been outstanding.
Is it going to be enough? Munster finding themselves once again on the defensive prior to that Michael Milne try, as the stats flashed up 9 visits to the Edinburgh 22 and just those 2 tries to show for it. Now they're rumbling on at real pace with real intent here, Edinburgh.
Ball's away.
Ball just popped up for a fraction of a second off and offered an opportunity for Munster. Now over the ball is Gavin Coombes against his opposite number. Bradbury doesn't get the decision. On go Edinburgh again. Muncaster. Velikut. No way through whatsoever for Darcy Graham. Now where's the ball in all that? It's back on the Munster side. Coughlan. Hanrahan. Farrell. So confident in his range of abilities to try and take on opponents, even in those kind of dangerous areas. Put to ground by Piers O'Connor. O'Donoghue this time, and Ethan Coughlan. Kicks are on this time. Goosen. Healy. Oh, it's a loose one from Healy. He's got that all wrong.
He's trying to bring it under control. Play on.
Darcy Graham knocked it on. There was a suspicion of an illegal tackle. Oh, it's harem-scarum, end-to-end stuff. Hanrahan on the retreat. Had to readjust. Thought about the kick, and eventually it's just hacked into touch. Lots to unpack there.
What's going on, Ben? Help me out.
It starts with Darcy Graham trying to kick that wasn't on. But then this is suicide. Oh,
Well, I assume it's a knock-on, but then isn't a high tackle then? Was that deemed to be a kick that kicked away the advantage from the knock-on? I'm not sure.
Not sure Ben Whitehouse knows either.
No.
What's going on?
Yeah, he was just injured on the spot, so.
Does either team want to win this? If they do, they better just calm down. And maybe practice some of the things they do in the training field.
Oh, we're just going to play on. Super.
Yeah, exactly. Line out. Munster fans suitably aggrieved, as you might expect. Maybe they saw something in more clarity than we did. On they go with Sam Skinner. Healy quickly just funnels it back inside to Paul Hill. Vellacott gets it back again, this time Munster driving forward and Edinburgh slightly in reverse. Piers O'Connor, the player to try and change that momentum. Healy. That's into orbit over on that side. Did that touch the hand of Duhan van der Merwe?
That's a good bit of game management by Ben Healy. It was the right decision. They're a little bit lost shape in attack, make it contestable, and even though it's a scrum for Munster.
Knock on.
15 aside again. Freddie Douglas back with us.
Edinburgh back to 15, and at least they can control this from the scrum.
Yeah, it's a good contestable kick, wasn't it? Van der Merwe trying to get up Bill O'Brien. Slightly riskier because you're kicking open, so you know, if Munster do get that, there's less cover, but because the kick was on the money and the chase was there, difficult for Edinburgh to take that out there.
9. It's outside. It's outside the 20. Let's go, boys. Injury play.
I think the percentage play there, Chris, isn't to go back into the pocket to Ben. It's actually the kick from the rope from the 9 to the right hand side. You have a lot more protection.
Yeah, I'd agree. But because there's so much height on that, it allows the chasers to get up.
Yeah, the kick has to be spot on.
And then we were talking about this earlier. The field no high balls now is really, really difficult. There's so much contest in there around the ball, quality of the kicks. So a lot of teams are just trying to get an arm on it to win it back rather than catch it in the air, because it is such a lottery at times.
Wheeling around. Edinburgh claiming vocally to the referee they're in the ascendancy. Oh no, that's going forward, surely.
Play on.
Still play on. No, we'll have to stop at some stage. A couple of knock-ons in there, maybe not until Darcy Graham has his say.
Use. 9 out.
Vellacott waits. I was going to say a modicum of sensibility restored. And so we'll go back to a scrum. Scrum's a mess as well.
Yeah, but I think Vellacott feels that Edinburgh maybe have the advantage there. So if they could milk a penalty from this scrum.
Excuse me.
You tell him to see a better picture there. He was dominant in the scrum.
Yeah. So for me, straight, I agree, dominant. Ball came out, we played away. Okay. It's their ball.
Edinburgh certainly feel they were in the box seat in that previous scrum, just making that point to the referee.
And to be fair, from a psychological point of view, Ben Whitehouse has confirmed he felt they were dominant. So now it's your foot in.
It just seemed that last one, although Edinburgh dominant, it just seemed to spin so quickly for it, you know, to almost like something looked a wee bit suspicious. But even when they're down to 7 men, and then Edinburgh scrum's been outstanding this evening. Change at hooker as well. Paddy Harrison's at a live wire, similar mould to Ewan Ashman, who we've already said has been outstanding as well.
Bind. Set.
It's moving.
Seems to be the picture. Edinburgh creeping forward now. What does the referee do here? He's enjoying it, wants another look at it.
We said it in the first half, but that's a proper contest. You'll know far more than me, but it is a proper contest with both sides.
That takes so much out of your legs. Just this fight and contact, this 10-second, 12-second scrum.
Okay, just see the turn.
Munster do end up going around, kicking around on the loose head side, but it's not really. They're not really running around. It's slow and gradual. But can Edinburgh generate the same power again? So I think this time Ben Whitehouse will make a decision, and I imagine it'll be in favour of Edinburgh if it's a similar picture.
Crouch.
Bowen Venter, remember, in there straight back from the Rugby Championship with South Africa. He did so much damage in that game that Edinburgh won back in February. Now the 2 front rows down.
So they can play.
They will play.
Both down,
it's an absolute mess. Both down, and away we go. Edinburgh with that man James Lang.
Very good play.
Little kick over the top to where the space is in the backfield. Munster running out of pitch, running out of options. Thunderous tackle this time from Paddy Harrison. Munster back where they've been too many times for their own liking in this game. Under the cosh, under the pump in their own 22 and looking to exit cleanly. From again, good heads up, smart play from Edinburgh. protecting this advantage and hopefully looking to build on it.
Just that kick chase there. I think you highlighted a little bit earlier on in the first half, Chris. I think Edinburgh are winning a lot of things. As Paul O'Connell would say, don't require talent. Just a little bit more energy about him off the ball.
It was a good kick as well, actually, for Velica.
So as soon as it engaged,
here we go.
They both went down, but the ball was hooked to the back, so we just played it away. We need to have a contest with height. Yeah.
That's off.
Clear.
No, it's a
all
good
clear.
question.
We've sorted it. Yeah, it was that kind of top spin kick. Paddy Harrison gets a bump there on Smith. I think they maybe bump heads.
No, let's go. Come on.
Paddy Harrison's getting a little bit
Let's
of treatment.
go, boys.
No, but it was, and you can see there, it's in the 5 metre channel. If there's a kick there that's rolling in that 5 metre channel, there's nowhere really for Smith to go. Good execution, good chase, and it forces Munster to kick out and Edinburgh get the set piece that they've been fairly dominant in, 40 metres from the opposition line.
Yeah, and I think if you're Edinburgh, you just want to stay in this area of the field now. The longer this goes on, the more Munster get a little bit anxious and go and have to chase the game, and that can play into their hands. But great line out take.
Super take. Fingertip stuff at the tail, right to the apex of the lift and the jump. Healy looking to control and dictate terms. You use that boot. Again, there's plenty of hang time on it. Well, it's working. Clear tactic.
Use it.
At the very least, we'll have another look at a scrum 10 metre in advance of where the ball is right now. An Edinburgh player down just to the right of the camera.
Edinburgh would love the scrum, I'd imagine.
Advantage over.
Advantage
away, the advantage there with Fallicott. Sends it skyward. Brilliant take. Well, maybe that's worked out in their favour. Super from Wes Goosen. Now they need a scrum half. Fallicott scurries in on the front foot. Harrison now. Fallicott's supply line tonight has been excellent. He's giving such great ball to his forwards. And
then when we start
play will continue for the meantime. Edinburgh player back of picture has remained down, and we'll call play to a halt.
Yeah, it's Ben Muncaster. Oh, he's got a foul play. Foul play against White, I think he said. It's Ben Muncaster who's down, who looks in a bit of pain.
I saw the player scream out, so I think I know the one you're on about. So go for it.
Is it a clear out?
White.
Okay.
The angle's coming through now.
Lee Barron, it looked as if he came out a ruck fairly quickly, quite there at the start of that phase. Maybe that's what we're looking at, but Ben Muncaster's going off. It looks like an ankle injury from when he went up in that contestable kick.
They're just trying to get it now, mate, because it's a little through the back.
He's cutting a forlorn figure. Ben Muncaster, that's disappointing for him.
Just back as well. It's his first game back from injury.
Let's see.
This is your best angle, Ben.
Edinburgh going to have 4 yellow cards.
Thank you, Keith. So what I'm looking at, there is a Cockerell lad, and he drops his weight towards the player's legs. The question here is it yellow card threshold or red card threshold? And for me, on that basis, it's a croc roll, a fade clear out, which takes us to yellow card threshold, off-field review. Do you agree, boys? Okay. 8. I understand what you're saying. You have croc rolled him and you've landed towards his legs, his lower limbs. It's a yellow card and off-field review. Meets the threshold.
So it meets the threshold. It will go to review.
Yeah, there's certainly a twist, and it does pull the body weight back down. You saw it from our side. You saw Barron coming out of the ruck earlier on. Oh, it's not nice to watch that. I mean, there's a chance that could be upgraded to a red.
I think thankfully Lee Barron isn't injured, because that could have been really nasty. I just think he misses the initial north clean out and then gets a little bit sloppy with his technique. But they're really interested in what card they finally give. Great chance for Munster. The momentum was all against them. Now they got to really pick up the tempo.
10.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we need more looks at that, but in terms of was there anyone else involved? Was there another clear out? Was it a second or a third clear out? Bodies in and around there, but it's good to see Lee Barnes up and ready and get thrown at this line out.
Tony Butler in for what's a massive 10 minutes for Munster, even this early in the season. Harry Patterson is in as well, wearing 23 for Edinburgh. 15 against 14 yet again. 4 cards.
The contest, you get the ball.
Oh, it's lost,
Yeah,
and it's
on
there
your
for Barron.
penalty.
Brilliant hands. How did he manage to gather that in? Huge level of difficulty there. Andrew Smith keeps it moving. It's tricky for Butler.
Another penalty back to back. This is where Tony Butler needs to put him 5 yards out.
Played in the air, Jack O'Donoghue. Back we go for that infringement. At 10 years, the junior of the man he's just replaced in JJ Hanrahan. Tony Butler, can he navigate Munster out of this really difficult situation?
This is what we were talking about earlier on. Really sack Edinburgh. Have had a couple of successful sacks. What do Munster do? Is that playing in their mind as well?
Yeah, I think you try and get away from here. I know they're trouble before they're going to drive it.
So we go to Edogbo. The first part is managed with a minimum of fuss. And here come the cavalry. The extras with the man advantage. They're all in there. Dan Kelly and co. Coughlan.
Big space on the inside.
Oh, can they puncture a hole? It's that man Farrell again. Is he the catalyst? So much about Munster's play and attacking sense has come from Tom Farrell. Coughlan now with that quick supply line gets it away as far as Wycherley. Where's the space? Where's the man advantage? Taken on by Josh Wycherley that time. They recycle quickly again, and here comes the power as they drive to the line. Not quite there yet. Edinburgh survive for now, but for how long? Try line breached. The momentum of this game swings again in favour of Munster. They find their way to the bonus point try and the lead. 9 minutes to go.
That was much better by Munster. They've had to play away from the ball. Farrell just does the initial dent here. He thinks about the offload, but look at the ball presentation. And Munster plays same way. So often today, they've chopped their attack in half and tried to have a two-sided attack. There they just flood around into the 5-metre channel. Good body position, good latch. And Edinburgh just can't get around the corner quick enough.
Is it Wycherley that's gotten over?
Wycherley, yeah.
Second row. Edinburgh down to 13 because Harry Patterson's getting treatment in the middle. 20. He took a head knock, an attempted tackle. So the numbers were thin, but even with that, Munster won the contact on 2 or 3 occasions, run the same way, managed to get over in the corner.
Kicked it on 0, so
well, it's a good effort again, but it misses by the narrowest of margins. So it's the narrowest of margins by which Munster lead with 7 or 8 minutes to go. They've been behind for around about an hour in this game. They found a way to get their noses in front.
They did well to recycle because they put so many extra bodies into that maul, and then they came flooding round the corner. Coughlan's feed there, that was it. Barron, I think, got pretty close. Kelly got close. It was Wycherley who got over. 1 point ball game done it in the last 6 minutes.
How much will Edinburgh rue the ill discipline? The cards. One shy of a full house. It's been so costly. Coughlan. Now it's up to Edinburgh. Munster put the ball in their court. Gav Coombes
great chase by
the tackle. Goosen nowhere to go.
Yeah, Edinburgh have to kick this. All the momentum's with it. Munster defence, make this contestable. Apply the pressure. It's too long.
It's too long, yeah. They've got their hands on a couple of those. Tony Butler.
No, he just hold his body.
Can they manage the minutes?
But Munster needs to get the ball down the other end of the field here. You don't overplay. Penalty in this range is kickable. That's good by Coughlan. I know it's not contestable, but it's long enough. Now gets a kick chase right.
Goosen forced really to go back on that narrow side to
Darcy
Graham, and that may be another sanction. It's definitely a penalty, but the player's in the air.
Yeah, Darcy Graham's came back on for Harry Patterson, I think, who had that head knock, and that's... And Darcy Graham just tackles in the air, doesn't he? Coughlan gets up. It's a clear penalty.
I would actually give credit to Munster for the kick chase there, because they actually send Edinburgh back down the blind side where they're running out of options. He kicks that because he's afraid of getting picked up and carried a touch, and then he doubles down by giving away the penalty.
If your kick chase isn't good enough, you don't have a second line. Exactly. And because there was an effort there to get that front line filled, Coughlan can drop off and cover exactly that chip. Difficult for Darcy to do anything else when he looks in field and it's shut off, and then he's only got 5 metres to work with.
9. Yeah, send the ball, mate.
So good all round from Munster.
Okay. They're making a sub.
Charlie Shield, wearing number 22, is coming in for Edinburgh.
Tackle in the air.
And chance once again for Butler just to put this as close as he can to the 22. Doesn't have to make a huge amount of ground. They can manage the minutes here, manage the game, dictate terms.
Yeah.
Numbers 5, 5.
5, yeah, so captain.
Munster's line-out's improved, doesn't it? Second half.
Yeah, it settled down nicely, and that's what all the changes, which is a real testament to the organisation at half-time. They've gone to the front as well. That's the second time they've gone to big Edwin Edogbo, and this is perfect. Just taking time off the clock. Use Dan Kelly to truck it up.
It's been a bit more
set a target.
Dan Kelly does take it up the gut, straight to the heart of that Edinburgh defence. Wycherley, is he to be ultimately the match winner in all of this? Barron again, who's played his part certainly in off the bench. Massive 2-man tackle to force him back, no way through at this time of asking. Edinburgh cannot afford to give away any more penalties like that.
And you can see Munster here, the last 5 phases, one pass plays. Now they put him open.
Up, and it's that man Farrell again into open country. Distribution with a bounce pass for Seán O'Brien. Back in field he comes. Darcy Graham on the ball, got the turnover, and I tell you what, he wasn't a million miles from being away into open prairie.
No, but 5 one-pass plays, low risk, and then when Edinburgh get narrow, that's a lovely pass. Attack the inside shoulder, put Farrell away. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a long pass off your left, isn't it?
Is it? Darcy Graham does really well, gets back, wins a turnover, wins it, and then goes in, knocks on under Coughlan's pressure. He was away there if he'd gotten free.
Yeah, only Darcy Graham could wriggle out of him just like that and go to length.
It's not a violent twist, and it doesn't land on the lower line, okay?
That's a yellow card. The clear out from Magnus Bradby. Crocker staying at a yellow because it wasn't violent. It kind of came in a hit, and then a secondary effort. Was it really? Oh, it did look awkward for Barron. Lovely pass from Tony Butler there, wasn't it? Just to recognise that Edinburgh were sitting back, and then Farrell hitting that line. What we were critical of them in the first half, and a couple of times Munster didn't do, they did exactly there, playing to the space.
Knocked on into touch, and they opted for a scrum.
Tell you what, if Munster win this, just for Ethan Coughlan and Tony Butler, just to have been in harness when they had to go and win the game and then close it out, be a great experience for them.
Munster supporters finding their voices. There's still an air of real tension. Haven't quite relaxed yet.
Time off. We will get through this. We will get through this scrum.
And he's determined, Ben Whitehouse.
Yeah.
In fairness, if you're Edinburgh here, you have to go all out to try and either win this against the head or win a penalty. Realistically, the clock is against them. Field positions against them. They need a set-piece penalty here to be able to maybe get a set-piece on halfway from it.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Up, both of you up. In.
And this time they maintain that height, and two front rows go down again. Nothing doing from the referee. Munster in the ascendancy and surging forward again. Coughlan keeps them moving, finishing the stronger with the player advantage. Edogbo with that raw, aggressive physicality that he has. Short pass for Josh Wycherley. Coughlan can see it and dig it out. Thought about Butler in the pocket. rumbling on towards that Edinburgh try line to try and seal it with a 5th try. Gavin Coombes, so destructive from this kind of range, went instead for Gleeson.
Coombes with a dog ball, latching him over.
Where is the weak link? Is there a fissure of any type in there? Has he got there? Yes! 79th minute, and it's beyond all doubt now. And it's that man again from that kind of range. Now they can relax. Now they can believe Munster have got out of jail and found a way to win. Gavin Coombes yet again.
Just clear off the rock underneath the goal line. Let's say it was a knock on, but I felt he went backwards with it.
Simon's able to get his calculator out back in studio. Coombes is just lethal from this aim. We talked about Milne earlier. He just has a sense of where the line is. You see Jack O'Donoghue going to clean from the outside. And Edogbo just giving him that little boost from the inside. It's such an unlikely bonus point win, wasn't it?
Oh, this could take away a bonus point from Edinburgh. I'm going to have another look at the grounding, I think.
Okay. So it's no try, and it's a knock-on scrum, Edinburgh, yeah?
Put that calculator away.
Yeah, sorry, you're okay.
It's back to 51.
Till next week.
Just trying to trust us, mate. We will clear it back.
So it's a knock-on.
I agree, but
I don't know if it was earlier on in the phase, or was it when Coombes can stretch for the line, because he put the ball into one hand and reached for the line.
you just said, yeah. The bind.
Okay, so
you know when I said what was going on earlier on, what was going on?
Yeah, it was earlier in the phase. Look,
Just picked up that point too early.
It's a lot taller though. Munster have looked far more comfortable as the game's gone on, and they've almost came alive once they've gone ahead.
Yeah, they have. Also, they've had some impact from the bench, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. But the set pieces improved. But they look as if just as soon as they went ahead, they looked as if they had more confidence. They looked shy of confidence before that.
Edinburgh have to be careful here. Obviously, they'd like to go win the match, but you don't want to give a try.
Set.
Well, you've got James Lang on the side of the scrum as well, so you're back down.
Yeah, I thought Bradbury.
You've done well. Again, they're always in charge there. Big penalty.
I thought Bradbury was back on by now. I thought it was the 69th minute.
Bradbury's getting ready to come back on. There's a knock-on there earlier in the phase. Yeah.
Clear. Yeah, so now they can have a shot because they're not on their own goal line. So even if they lost the ball, they're unlikely to concede a try. The losing bonus point would be safe. It's a long way to go, though, isn't it, from there?
Yeah. James Land kicked him. Surprised Ben Healy didn't with his cannon.
Tell you what, I'll be trying to get Duhan van der Merwe on the ball here. He's been quiet, haven't been able to utilise him, but something here from the set piece. Get him one-on-one with a Munster backline defender and see if he can get you gain line or line break. They haven't really set up to. The shape looks. They're going to look for something. A maul, I think, are they?
Good contest initially between Skinner and
no, they got another penalty.
O'Donoghue. Another penalty.
Knocked on there, but it's on the arm.
Not done yet.
Yeah, contact
Same as the one down there, on the arm.
Nobody going for the exits just yet.
Sixth. Missed the ball into the arm and hook.
As you said, Chris, they've played better since going in front, but it took them 72 minutes really to get their noses back in front, having only had the lead from that early Andrew Smith try. And look where they find themselves now.
Jack.
I tell you, the most nervous man in the ground is a Munster fan about 4 rows down from me. When he thought that try was given to Gavin Coombes, he gave it the big one to the Edinburgh coaches. He's chewed his nails at the moment.
This is a far better attacking opportunity, isn't it? You mentioned it earlier on, Darren, as well. Like piggybacking penalties, penalty on penalty. You've gone 60 metres, now you've got a chance.
Brilliant delivery and a super take. Kleyn Young that one up.
They actually only need a penalty now. And this maul is moving forward
to defend legally.
16, don't change.
When you're going forward, Lee Barron under the microscope, don't change your bind. Still going through the middle with Paddy Harrison. Oh, they could be in big bother here. Edinburgh on the surge forward.
Oh no, it'll be turnover.
He's going to give that Munster. No, he hasn't. Yeah. Right to the end, there was an air of confusion. It could go either way. It's massive on the defence from that rumbling, rolling maul of Edinburgh's. They couldn't eke out one more penalty, one more